This is Always in Escrow with Colby Burchin and Serena Appel. Hello, Colby.
Serena, how are you?
I am fantastic because we are going on a little trip today with Rachel and Rob Alday, the owners of Abode Luxury Rentals in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and Park City, Utah. Welcome to the show, Rachel and Rob.
Thanks.
We're happy to be here. Yeah.
So, Serena, I just got back from Utah, Deer Valley, my second year going, and I happened to get into Rachel and Rob's business because a neighbor of mine told me about, hey, you should go on Abode and check out all these luxurious vacation rentals. So I did, and let me tell you, first class all the way. They will pick you up at the airport. They will get groceries for you. They have all different types, condos, houses, townhouses. It's just amazing what they have at their disposal. So I highly recommend, and I'm so glad that they are on our show so our audience could appreciate this. So Rachel and Rob, thank you so much again for coming on our show. I'm going to dive right into the luxuriousness question, okay? How do you create the business?
So we started it over 13 years ago. Yeah. And really, it was Rob. Rob wanted to start this business, and I told him it was a terrible idea. I thought it would be so much dirty work and not enough, money and revenue coming in. And as usual, I was wrong. So
a lot of dirty work, though.
It is a lot of dirty work, and which you wouldn't think with a luxury property business, but. And so, yeah, it was Rob's idea to start it. He had been in real estate, and that was at the downturn. And he was looking to do something else, and he was helping some of his clients take care of their houses at that point. So he was like, why don't we do this? So that's how it all began.
Yeah, we had a condo in Deer Valley.
And yes, we had our own condo at Black Bear Lodge. Yes, that was a rental. And we had it rented with other companies. Obviously our business wasn't started yet. And we had a couple management companies that we tried, and they said that they did luxury property management. And we found it really wasn't that luxury. The service that they provided, we just didn't feel like it was offering to the guests, a special level of service. It was pretty basic. And so Rob just said, I think we could do better.
Did you know at the time there was such a need for it?
I mean, you could feel it, like especially once we started just a little bit and started to get feedback from not only the owners, but the guests. You could tell that it was well received in the market.
Yeah. People, once we started talking to homeowners, they were always saying like the cleaning is really inconsistent when we go and, they go to visit their house or when they look at reviews from their guests and, just stuff with like revenue being inconsistent from year to year for the rentals or guests wanting services that they weren't providing. And so, yeah, I mean, we knew in our heart that because Park City, and initially we just started in Park City, we went to Jackson about 10 years ago. So in Park City, it's a small town. And I'm from Chicago originally, and he's from South Georgia. And I knew from my experience in the city in Chicago that the level of like attention to detail and sense of urgency, it's kind of not the same in a small town like Park City or Jackson Hole. And so the service that's provided was being accepted in some ways by the clientele because they knew they couldn't really get the same thing. But I knew that there's more to offer and that someone just had to be doing that. And so that's kind of how we started. I had worked in personal shopping in Chicago at Saks Fifth Avenue. And so I was like, there is a whole level of service that could be provided that no one's offering here in either of the markets.
And you could tell too, right when we started offering the services, that, the owners had specific things they wanted in their house. Mm-hmm. And then the guests too, it's really, they've been renting ski condos forever, but it's about bringing that 5-star hotel experience to the condo where you can get a private massage in the condo, private chef service, all that sort of thing that you would have at, Stein's or the Montage or St. Regis or somewhere like that.
Yeah. Because we manage, a variety of houses. So we manage houses that are worth maybe 1.5, 1.8 million on the bottom level up to like $50 million houses. So, there's a huge variety in there. We really only manage luxury properties, but there's still variety within that because like we mentioned Black Bear Lodge earlier, that's a location where the condos are 2-bedroom condos, but it's practically ski in, ski out at that location. It's like the secret awesome spot because it's right there on the mountain, mid-mountain at Deer Valley, but you can get a 2-bedroom condo, which is a great deal, and get really nice high-end service.
Serena, it is like luxurious, and they think of every detail when you check in. So what do you see developing in the industry?
A lot of consolidation between companies, like Rachel was saying, a lot of investment money coming in. It's been that way for probably the past 7 years, something like that. But then it really took off post-COVID with, people not wanting to stay in hotels as much and that sort of thing. And so you saw like an explosion in the vacation rental industry. And then that's created more, we'll get hit up now from like American Express Travel, Marriott, Bonvoy, they want to have our listings on their platform to sell to their customers and so you're seeing all these bigger companies come in.
Yeah, no, it's true. That the future is definitely consolidation. When we go to like conferences for the vacation rental industry, people on stage will say like, well, it's basically going to turn into, we're just glorified housekeepers, because if you look at it like from the scalability concept, that's kind of true. But in our opinion, those concepts about all of this consolidation, I think that may only work well for more like what I would call like widget properties, more like condos that aren't that expensive in markets where the rates aren't that high.
If you had in a lot of the beach towns or that sort of thing. I mean, even in some mountain towns, you have a building with 300 condos. They're all, 1 bedroom or 2 bedroom, and they're all exactly the same. It's a more a hotel type model.
Yeah.
Those big companies can come in and kind of churn those out. But that's one of the good things about being in the higher end of the market is you still need that high touch service. You still need local people that know what's going on in town.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's like the one thing that they can't come in and just buy that, basically.
Right. Like, people come to Park City or Jackson Hole, they want an authentic experience. Like, they want to feel like a cowboy, or like I'm a total ski bum now for a week or whatever. And so they're not trying to it's not as easy to scale it, because it's like what they're looking for is insider information on what's the best run to go skiing on, what's the best mountain bike trail, all that kind of stuff. And so our team, what sets them apart too is like they know what they're talking about. They've all been living here for a long time. They really know all the ins and outs, and that's what makes that experience different. If we were offering services from a call center, it's not the same. And I know some of our competitors have these call centers. We do test shopping or whatever. And I think it really changes the experience for the guest. If they're not talking to a Park City person or a Jackson Hole person, they get a different feel. And what we sell is not cheap. Even the places that we sell that are more like 2 bedrooms, that are more affordable, I mean, they're really not affordable. Like these prices in a ski town like Park City or Jackson Hole, especially at Christmas, New Year's, Sundance, Presidents, the prices are incredible. Like they're really high. And so it's more than just the lodging. Like it has to be this full experience. And that's actually something that we talk about a lot, is that it's time over money. Like if someone's renting, a lot of the houses we manage will go for like 5, 8, 10 grand a night. And so if someone's spending that kind of money for a week, 100 grand for their lodging for a week or more, this is not about money. Like they are not saving up for this trip. They could probably make that money back in like a day or a week. So it's more about the time. They maybe only have a week with their family. So this week better be freaking perfect, or they're going to be unhappy. And so that's why we offer all these services just outside of just the lodging, because it's not just the beautiful house. And believe me, the houses are beautiful, but it has to be the whole thing, it has to be seamless for them to be happy when they're done.
So do you have any plans to expand into other luxury markets?
Not right now.
No, I mean, nothing. We've always...
We toy with it.
Yeah, we've kept the door open and kind of looked at some different markets, but nothing solid. It's got to be like Jackson was right. Right people were there. Yeah. We saw the right opportunity at the right time. So we're not closed to it at all. But
it has to be like the perfect situation, because it does take so much personal attention. We have 2 guys that we knew that we had been talking to for a couple of years in Jackson Hole, really because they were just picking our brain. They wanted to start a business like ours in Jackson Hole. So we were like, oh, here, we'll help you. And then they ended up not doing it. And then Rob ended up taking a course through Goldman Sachs. It's like a 10,000 small businesses course that I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Yeah. And so he did that and he had to pick a growth, like something that we were going to, yeah. And so we were like, I don't know, maybe Jackson, And so we ended up,
circled back, revisited that.
Yeah. We talked to the guys. We're like, all right, what if we started in Jackson? You want to work with us? So our two top guys in Jackson Hole, they had been with us from day one because it was something they wanted to do. They realized, the startup on it, there's a lot of insurance and legal stuff. And, there's a lot involved with managing $50 million houses. Like there's a lot that you got to figure out liability wise and everything. And so they were kind of like, whoa, we can't do this. Not to mention the time involved and the fact that people call you all night long and whatever. So then when we said we would do it with them, then that worked. And it's gone really well in Jackson Hole too. So.
I could tell you that, I could see you guys in Aspen or Vail because I've done it and it's nothing like what you guys offer. And it's hard.
Those markets are really interesting.
We've looked at both.
Yeah.
That's high-end money.
Yeah, a ton. But it's like there's a real estate component that's very interesting there. And all these markets are so different. It's really, really, the more you dig into it, it's like not what I would have thought. You think it would be more cut and dry. Like, oh, this is how you do this thing. It's not brain surgery. It's property management. So like we could just, and it works out a little bit harder than that. Yeah.
I appreciate you guys coming on our show. I wanted to promote you because I'm a big fan. I will be a customer in the future. And, I like small business. So I'm big believer in that. Tell our audience and everyone out there how they could book a vacation with you, how they could follow you, because I want you guys to get a lot of leads.
Oh, thanks. Well, first of all, we really appreciate your business. We appreciate everyone's. We see every single reservation that comes through the moment it comes through. We watch over every little detail. So thank you.
Thank you.
It makes a difference. So our website is abodeluxuryrentals.com. Now, I'm the one that wanted to name the business Abode, and Rob fought with me. And now for the rest of our life with this business, we'll always be joking because everyone spells it Adobe by accident because of there's a big company called, if we owned Adobe, that would be a whole other thing. It's Abode. So it's A, B like boy, O, D like dog, E. So Abode Luxury Rentals is our website, and that's also our handle on Instagram too.
Fantastic. Thank you for coming on. And we can't wait to see all that's to come and hear more from you in the future. Thanks for coming on.